Lackner Sign Company was kind of the acorn that most of the sign companies in this town grew from. They did clock signs, neon clocks.
Yeah.
They did beer signs. And they owned the neon sign school, Sage.
They owned Sage,
Lackner.
where my dad learned.
Yes,
went
right
to
where your
school.
dad
Okay.
learned. And that's where Elmer Hinder learned. That's where almost everybody around here learned.
Okay.
I even knew people in Knoxville that had gone to that school.
Okay.
I knew people in northern Indiana had gone to that school. And they dispersed within, a couple of 100 miles in all directions.
Yeah.
And so Lackner, everybody in this town probably worked at Lackner at one time or other. They spawned the industry, I think, in this town.
I was curious about your dad.
My dad?
Yeah, your dad. 'Cause that's where you learned the trade,
That's where I
isn't it?
learned it. Okay.
And maybe how he got into it.
Okay,
And
that's an interesting
what was going
story.
on
It
then?
is. Okay.
And what was the neon
He
industry
was-
like then?
He was a central Pennsylvania person. Coal mines was everything. That's what you did when you dropped out of high school or grammar school or
Central
whatever.
Pennsylvania, okay.
He didn't want any of that. Well, he had a sister who had moved to York, Pennsylvania, married a glass blower who did scientific apparatus work.
Ah,
Well, at that time, neon, this was probably 28,
yeah.
29, okay. He got a job in Newark, New Jersey as a glass blower to make neon. Well, he didn't know how to make neon, didn't have any idea. Well, up in Newark was a company called Claude Federal. And Claude, as you know.
Claude is
yeah.
the
But that was a
original-
licensed thing.
Right.
So he went up there. There was a Frenchman there who was going to teach him a little bit and then go back to France. Couldn't speak English. My uncle couldn't speak French. Had a terrible time. He hired my dad, Claude Federal hired my dad to come in and be an assistant to my Uncle Tom. And they basically, over a period of years, they taught themselves pretty much how to make neon. Okay?
That's real interesting. They taught themselves.
Pretty much.
Because that's tough to do.
Oh,
I mean,
well, the Frenchman showed him a few things like
Yeah.
how to, but see, he was using Pyrex glass. There was no lead glass in those days. So he taught
so
them,
in the late 20s, all the neon tubing was Pyrex.
or quartz, yes.
Of course, so it's the
That-
really hard glass, and they probably had to use
They had
oxygen
special
in
fires.
the fires.
Yeah,
and-
yes, they
yeah.
did.
Okay.
When I was like 15, finally, my dad captured me and put me put me in there cleaning the floor. And you know what? One of my first jobs were. Remember the old asbestos rolls of asbestos? Have you ever seen those?
I've seen them.
They were, yeah. They used to put their patterns on that. And when they were finished with it, they'd stretch it out on the table and give me steel wool, and I had to do this, erase it
Wow.
with that steel
With
wool.
steel wool.
Then lift it up and shake it to get it. And there was asbestos floating all over the
Yeah.
place. Well, we didn't know that was dangerous, okay?
I know.
But that was one of my first jobs. And then he taught me to pump and a little bit of bending, but not much. Mostly pumping and blocking out, how.
Yeah.
That's about what I did.
Yeah. Okay.
There were some pretty good signs on buildings in this town. Like the Hyatt Regency had that pink, or not pink, but purple neon all around it. And that stuff, that's a curved wall. That was tough to put up.
Yeah.
And I made that for United Signs. And when they put it up, boy, everybody in town talked about that. And we outlined the building. Remember that? Beautiful.
That was, yeah.
And
What year
then,
was that, about 70s?
no, it was more. It was later than that.
Later?
Oh yeah, it was 80s. Yeah, it was in the 80s. Because I didn't buy that company. I moved in there until 79.
Okay.
So it was after that, probably early 80s. Also Lytle, the Lytle building,
Yeah, the blue
big
neon.
blue neon around it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when people really started trying to decorate their buildings.
Yeah.
And all that white neon that went around those,
There's the atriums, got
the
a lot of white
atriums,
neon.
there was two buildings, yeah.
The stair step
Yeah,
top? Yeah.
that glass was either 18 or 20 millimeter, I can't remember.
We do some of those repairs, they're 18 millimeter.
Okay, I guess that's what I used. I made all that.
We want to go over and take a picture of the old shop. Is it just empty right now?
I don't really know.
You know,
I don't know what happened to it.
Because Tim set up shop at Atlantic Sign.
Right, yeah, he's out of there. He sold the building, I
Right.
think, and moved out.
Yeah, just for old sake, to just take a picture of it.
Yeah.
I
I wish you'd have seen that place before I remodeled it, the outside. That was awful.
yeah. Did you join the two buildings?
Yeah,
You
I
did
joined
that.
the two
You
buildings.
stepped down,
Yeah.
you went to the back and it went down a couple.
They were two separate buildings. You
You
could
know what the
park
back
car
building
between
was
them.
originally?
No.
Stables. You know why it was stables? The front part was the original Kroger store that went over to Kentucky. The first Kroger store in Kentucky was in that building.
Wow.
And the back section, which ended up being the garages, was the stables, because they kept horses and what do you call it?
Wagon? Or?
Wagons in there, and they delivered groceries. Isn't that odd?
Wow. I didn't know, I definitely didn't know
I did
that.
not know that.
Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah, when your dad, when I knew him, he was working in the back, in the stables. Obviously, it wasn't the stables, he had cleaned it up.
Right.
And the building, there was a,
On the corner?
that was a barber shop. And then, when the
yeah.
barber shop moved out, your dad bought it and moved his neon shop up to the front. And the stables were knocked down. I knocked them down when I bought it. And then I added on out to the back.
I see.
Yeah. But anyway, I wish you'd have seen that place before I put it on a hook. I'm in Florida a few years at a flea market, and I see a sign, a clock, pretty good sized neon clock, in Nesbit Neon Sign Company, Lancaster,
right.
Pennsylvania.
That's neat.
And so I talked to the guy who was the vendor there. He owned them, and he was selling all kind of junk, and included was this. I said, "Where'd you get this?" He says, "Well," he said, "there was an old master neon man in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, who was very well known for making clocks, and I just happened to get my hands on that."
Wow.
What?
Would
He
that
made a dozen clocks maybe in his life. You know what I mean?
Would this be your father?
My dad, yeah, sure.
Okay.
So he got it at somewhere, who knows
Yeah.
where, it's, in an auction sale somewhere.
Okay.
But he had a story to go with that clock, and it was expensive. He wanted $700 for that clock. Of course, I understand he'd probably sell it for $150 if that's what you offered him.